do you want to be with me or not? That's what she asked me, and that was a legitimate question. Prison is designed, and I repeat, it's not just designed to destroy the individual that's placed within the confines of that barbed wire and concrete, but it's also designed to destroy any relationship that individual has with anybody within family, whether it's a spouse, with their child, mom and dad, brothers and sisters. It's very hard to overcome and maintain any type of healthy relationship with loved ones in there because of the situation. There's limitations on how you can see and interact. When they're in need, you can't just call out. There's a list of other reasons. They transfer you purposely, a lot of times 100 miles away from where your family lives. So now, just for them to come see you, they've got to set money aside, not to include money to the side for phones, not to include, the list goes on and on. There are additional stresses that are placed not just on the individual, but on the family, the spouse, etc. And again, I'm a victim's advocate as well. That's not saying boo-hoo just for the prisoners, but I want y'all to understand the reality of what we face when we're in relationship, when we have children, when we have a loved one, when we have our mothers waiting on us to come home. There's certain stresses and traumas that will impact them as well, not just us. And because of what we were going through, and I say we, because when a woman chooses to ride with you and do your time, and she's really doing it with you, she's doing it with you. She may not be behind those walls, but she feels it. And one thing I can say, she was a real one. Always has been, always will be. She's somebody that when they came to her and said, yo, you can give such and such up, or you can get fired, she walked off instead of giving me up. And she came back for me, which was priceless in my eyes. When she left that institution, when she walked off that day, there was no guarantee I would ever hear from her again. But she sent back for me. She sent that letter. And to me, I was going to keep fighting for this relationship, no matter the stresses that prison had caused on us, because the arguments had become more and more, the anxiety up because she was going through certain things, I was going through things. We couldn't be there for each other. This is prison. This is the reality of most prison relationships. It's hard, but they can be done. But this was a moment that was needed. We sat down and we spoke and we talked and we had some real conversations. And at the end of it, we figured this much. We had already sacrificed some things. We already been through some things. We, over the course of a year and some change, had began to really communicate and express to one another who we were, probably in a different way than we ever had, because the physical wasn't involved. We didn't have that. And we had the opportunity to, just talk, because that's what we had to put the focus on. And this is somebody that became a great friend. So we knew with the time put in, what we had built, and now with an opportunity to see each other, even though things weren't right, we had an opportunity to get them back right to the best of our ability. We could see each other when things hit the fan. We could, have access to each other now in different ways than we couldn't before. But it didn't mean at one bit that it would be easier. In a lot of ways, not gonna lie, looking forward, it caused some additional stress. It's cool to be in a relationship. I'm grateful for the people that I meet in life, in any moment, but some friendships, some relationships, some bonds, some family members, it's stressful. Not because of anything they're doing to you, but just because of the circumstance, the moment. And that's what this was. I remember leaving the visitation room that day, coming back to the pod, the dorm or whatever, and guys like, oh, that's what's up, bro. You had a visit? Everybody was on the yard when you walking back. That's what's up, man. Who came to see you? I'm seeing my homeboy. I'm like, yo, my girl, da-da-da. And I felt good. It feels good. The sun shining, you on the boulevard, you walking back from visit. I felt bad because she had to go home, but I felt good because I got to see her. I got to hug her. You know what I'm saying? But, man, even though I was like, yeah, I got to see my girl, and I'm shouting out to my homeboys, on the inside, when I was walking back to that dorm, when I sat back down in that dorm, I ain't gonna lie, it was like I was sadder than ever, because now she wasn't just a voice or a picture or words on a piece of paper. Now I was reminded even more that as much as I want to start a life with this person, I can't. And not only that, I still got like 6 years left on my bid. 7, I don't even know if we can make it.